Alright, coming up in number 1, Capoeira. Capoeira is by far the most well-known and widespread of the African arts. Capoeira was practiced in Brazil by enslaved Africans and is a unique dance fight game favoring strategy and cunning, and is based on indigenous fighting arts from Central Africa such as the Nsenga and the Ngolo. The art features dynamic dance-like footwork, fluid evasions, acrobatics, as well as kicks, sweeps, takedowns, and headbutts. All of this accompanied to percussive instruments from West and Central Africa. The chief amongst them is the beating bow or the musical bow. Alright, coming up in our number 2 slot is Kalinda stick fighting from Trinidad. Stick fighting is a pretty common practice throughout all of Africa, and it seems like the roots of Kalinda are based in the kingdoms of Angola and Congo in Central Africa. These fighting arts were brought over by enslaved Africans and later evolved and blended into the various styles of stick fighting we find throughout the diaspora. Kalinda matches are performed in a circular arena called a gayel, and Kalinda is always accompanied by drums and a lead singer called a chantwell, whose job is to engage the crowd and encourage the fighters to fight hard. Kalinda was instrumental in the protecting of the people's right to celebrate Carnival during the Canboulay riots of 1881. Alright, number 3, we have Pinge wrestling from Haiti. As the only successful slave revolt in modern history, the Haitian Revolution demonstrated the determination for freedom and the prowess of battle of the Haitian people. There are several fighting arts practiced in Haiti. Most consist of some type of stick or machete fencing, but Haiti has a traditional form of wrestling which is reminiscent of wrestling styles practiced in West Africa like lam, bori, and kokoa. These matches are accompanied by festive rara music and take place during the Easter season for men and June for women. In our number 4 slot, we have Esgrima Con Machete, or simply Grima. Grima is a highly developed combat system that features the use of the stick, lance, knife, but more commonly features the machete. Derived from indigenous fighting techniques from Africa that later evolved into the various fighting styles you find along the Pacific coast of Colombia, the Caribbean, and other parts of South America. Grima was instrumental in the fight for independence in Colombia as well as in Haiti and Cuba, where there can be found similar fencing systems that have the same technical base. Alright, last but not least, coming up in number 5, we have knocking and kicking. Okay, bringing it back to the United States, where colonial repression of African culture was the most intense, there persisted certain combat traditions practiced by enslaved Africans and their descendants. Wrestling, boxing, and headbutting games were activities men engaged in their spare times or in holidays. But on more secretive and clandestine occasions, they engaged in a unique fighting art referred to as knocking and kicking. This fighting art could be found in the Carolinas, where it was practiced in secret and connected to the ring shout celebrations of the Gullah people. Nowadays, the art has disappeared, leaving little evidence of its existence outside of a few references in slave narratives. Based on these accounts and proximity to the Gullah people, the technical base seems to be consistent with other Congo-based martial arts such as Capoeira and Danmaye, utilizing sweeps, trips, kicks, knees, open hand strikes, and headbutts, hence knocking and kicking.